There he is.
Nice.
I don't get to go home unless I find at least $500. Boom, boom. There it is. 10 bucks. Ching. Hell yeah. Looks moderately played, but I thought of a challenge idea. So here we go. Let's go see what Anthony's doing over here at Fountain Valley. We got some transfers to move around. Half my team is on vacation today, and so we're gonna be doing a little non-traditional stuff over at the lab. So I gotta snag some things from the man over here.
I can just see him in.
Yo, yo, yo. There he is.
Nice.
Always be recording. Checking out the vibes, already rocking and rolling. Pokemon case, ravaged. Some higher end stuff. It's time to spruce up the case. Here with Anthony, holding it down, doing some transfers. Cool.
And for our secret warehouse that is at an undisclosed location.
And the lab, okay, this is for shipping?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've got this Pokemon. It has a lot of damage stuff, but it's like some cool damage stuff, and it's probably better than what you have. It's just a pain in the ass to list.
Definitely some good stuff. I definitely cannot wait to list these.
First stop complete. Time to head over to the lab. Drive time. All right, so I'm gonna give you a quick tour of the lab. But here is, room number one. This is where my office was. This is now Andrew and Alex, who are both out of town. Our entryway room, same thing. We used to have a staff member that would work out of here for listing and purchase orders and that sort of thing, but that is all now all done at the stores. This room we were doing a ton of 3D printing out of here for months and months and months, especially like Q1. Actually, Q4 of last year and Q1, we were doing a lot of 3D printing on our FDM Bamboo Lab printers, and then our resin printers actually in a different room. But here is the library. This is my favorite room, but this is all of our Magic the Gathering singles inventory, and it is all by set. So here you have like by set code from TCG Player. So you have our set code, and then it is all actually 90% of it is penny sleeved in collector number order. Yeah, just here alone, I think it's something like 300 to 400,000 singles for Magic, and this is temperature controlled, and we also have like dehumidifier if needed on those like really rainy seasons, which is kind of rare, but you still need it in case. Into the warehouse, and this is really where all my bad ideas go to die. And we have our Roka sorter, which doesn't get nearly as much love as I would like, but when Alex is here, he has a pretty good job of keeping that running. Back over here, you've got, this is all of our, I'd say mostly Pokemon Magic wall. There is other bulk options there. This is like overstock product that gets backfilled into the stores for Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh! And then on this side we have, this is all bulk Magic. These are kind of all the dead card games that, inventory that has gone like well below cost, and is just kind of, sitting around waiting for someone to buy. But that is the warehouse. We used to be doing a lot more of this back in the old days. But here, this is operating the buys here. Boom, boom. All right, we got our shipping done, so we're gonna take our orders over to the post office. Nice day out here. Nice day. Let's head back to the lab. Coming to the lab is pretty fun, and there's a few things I like to do more than anything else, and one of them is to check for spikes. And what I mean by spikes is cards in Magic and Pokemon go up and down a lot over the years. I really like buying Magic cards and Pokemon cards specifically, and of course other card games, but the reason why I like buying Magic is, by and large, with Commander being a format that exists, when new cards are printed, old cards will spike in value. But I thought of a challenge idea, so here we go. What if we say, I don't get to go home unless I find at least $500 worth of Magic and Pokemon cards that are above $5 per card. None of this bulk stuff. Oh, this is 5K and they're all worth a penny. None of that. But $5 and up is our threshold, and I have to find at least $500 worth of cards. Now, let's not be complete savages here, because I do have some tools available to me, including our Roka sorter right there that we spent, a lot of money on. So I might as well use that to my advantage. A couple rules about where I can source these cards from. So in this room here, the library, all this stuff is listed and sorted, so that doesn't count. In the warehouse, there's tons of 5Ks and stuff. None of that is listed or sorted in any way, shape, or form. All that stuff is fair game as part of the challenge. The offices, we've got a lot of unlisted higher end stuff. I'm going to stay away from the offices in general. Maybe at the very end, if I'm just dying and barely going to make it, then maybe I'll look at some of the unsorted stuff over there. But I'm really predominantly going to be sticking to the warehouse to dig and sift. And I'm going to show you some of the tricks I use and some of the sites I look at to find spikes. All right, so one of my favorite sites to look for MTG stock or MTG price adjustments or anything going on in the marketplace is MTG Stocks. MTG Goldfish is pretty good. We can look at that too. But MTG Stocks has this link called Interests. I don't know why they're called that. And they go over any sort of spikes that may or may not have happened that day. And then also the one I find more useful is weekly. So these are normal printing of cards. You can check this out. I go down to the weekly changes. But here to see if there's any really notable price changes in the uncommon slots from like older cards can be kind of interesting. mtg.dawnglare.com. This will give you like almost like a spreadsheet's view of a price list. And for us, looking at standard or pioneers, kind of whatever, I would start with legacy. But what I'm looking for usually is going to be the commons and uncommon slots. Like, is there anything new that happened? Like, honestly, I think that's a card I'm going to put on my list of things to check, because I cannot ever remember pulling a freaking Withering Boon before. And the green is going to show you if there's like recent movement, and then and red as well if it's going up or down. Dust to dust is really $6. That's interesting. It's worth a check. Mindcrank is really $9, because I know for a fact we've got 5K of Iconic Masters back there, and there's no chance we've pulled all the Mindcranks out, so that we could be getting to $500 really quick. Cool. Yeah, I think the big one, honestly, if I can find, so yeah, Mindcrank, Dust to Dust, and Withering Boon. If I can just find those in some of the sections, I think we may have them. That could get us really close to 500 really quickly. Let's go try to find some magic cards so I can go home. Withering Boon, here we come. I'm gonna head over to some of the sorted stuff that we have, and we're gonna dig through Mirage, just so my eyes can kind of glance over at the screen to see if we have any upside. So. Tombstone Stairwell. That card used to be worth something. $10. Boom. We got a hit. We got a hit, people. There it is. $10. Cha-ching. Hell yeah. Oh, baby. We did it. We got there. First one. Withering Boon. Withering Boon. We're on the board. Like $6 or $7. We'll call it 6. That means we've got some Withering Boons in here. Withering Boons are in the house. Achieved. Mission accomplished. Kind of. Aha! Ba-bam! Withering Boon. Withering away. Forsaken Waste. Hold on. It's 270. Take that. The Harbingers we're taking, right? I want to go through and see if I can find a section of cards over here that I can set the Roka loops on to work through. Pokemon Vintage. I haven't looked at this one. I want the Roka to get Roka-ing. It is. Okay, hold on. Just pause. We'll pause on Mirage Plan for a minute. Let's take a look at this. There's no way. Let me just verify. So this uncommon is worth $8. A lot of sales history. People are paying $10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 16, 17, 18. $180 in Mindcranks. Yeah, here's gonna be some like foils and rares and other stuff from Iconic Masters. I think it's time we sift it. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna move the Iconic Masters that we have. or at least an amount of it, into the Roka. I'll show you how this works. So we pull out the tray. So when we load it in these middle trays. I'm gonna grab any of the unsleeved Iconic Masters that is in the front of the set over here. And we're just gonna load that in. And so with the Roka, you can do what's called a sift, and just sift based on a price threshold. So I'm gonna do this while we are working on some other stuff. We'll load this thing up and play some music. And I'll hit start. Okay, so this thing's gonna go to work and make a bunch of noise. In the meantime, let's go look. I'm gonna thumb through the rest of this Iconic Masters. These are all commons in this row, especially the uncommon artifacts. But I think they were probably all pennied. Maybe not as spicy, but oh, it's gonna save me so much time. Okay, cool. Let's just double check Iconic Masters in the lab because, or excuse me, in the library, because there's a chance. It's always worth checking to see if it's in here too, even though we probably did already. Okay, there's at least 2 mine cranks here. I just don't know if they're listed or not, so we're gonna find out. If they're not listed, I'm counting them. How many mine cranks are we gonna find in here that are not listed? I did say at some point, like 90% of the stuff in this room is listed. It's probably more like 80%. There's some good foils in here. Boom, mine crank. Like, is this the foil mine crank? Foily mine crank. I haven't even looked that one up. Is it paying the bills? No product spam. Let's take a look. Nope. So yeah, there's no withering boons in there. Just the ones that we've already found. Okay, so let's just go do some math. See where we're at. As you can see, $421. And this is counting, mine cranks are selling for 10, foils are about 14, dragon tempests are 5, foil dragon tempests are about 10, tombstone stairwells are selling for 12, and the withering boons are selling for 7. Now, essence of time here, it's probably been, I don't know, probably doing this for like an hour and a half, maybe we're at 2 hours. I have another about maybe 1,500 cards of Mirage to go through to look for withering boons, but we have some other options of things I could dive into. The Roka is still cranking, so I could just sit here and wait, and hopefully there's enough good stuff coming out in that final chamber. I can cheat a little bit. I have a bunch of stuff on top of the cage, so I can't lift my cage right now to see how it's doing, but there's a camera inside the Roka. If it works, it's 3 and up. I think so far it hasn't put any cards in the 3 and up. Is that likely? So maybe we really need to do some work. So we've got $79 left to find. Now I'm gonna look for withering boons, but those are about $7 each, so I don't know if that's as quick as it can be. Dust to Dust is that common from the dark. We're looking for Shadowmoor, Eventide, and the dark. Let's do it. This is that. I was looking at this earlier. This is some of the vintage Pokemon I have back here that we've bought over the years. Like, look at, oh my gosh, I didn't even know this was here. We have a Shadowless Jinx, just chilling. Electabuzz is a Shadowless rare. We have multiples of these. Yeah, I can't imagine even a Shadowless rare Electabuzz is at $5 and up, but let's find out. So I'm gonna go to my back end, TCG player, to see some better data. But, okay, look at that. Look at that. All right, so this is telling me even an moderately played Shadowless Electabuzz is $8. So let's just call that, we gotta call that what it is. Okay, all right, we're in the game, and the Roka just finished. Okay, so we have to add the Electabuzz, and there's at least 2 of them over here. And now I need to look through this pile. Dodu. We have a first edition Shadowless Diglett. It looks moderately played. That's in decent, like, check that out. That's in decent shape. That's pretty sick. Again, where did this box come from? This is one of the vintage boxes I looked at like last week that I just did not notice this stuff. We had sorted for 3 and up. This is always the fun part about the Roka, is when you go to pull this drawer out and you see, is there anything in that far right bin? We want stuff in this far right bin because that means it sorted something, it found something 3 and up. Literally nothing. Literally nothing. We tried. Is that right? Is that even possible? All right. So before we run out of battery, we are at, just to recap here, we're at $458. Let me spin this around. We're at $458. The challenge was to get to 500, so we're on our way. But we had a couple misses. We're kind of stumbling towards the finish line here as we're wrapping this up. But next up, I hope we have these. It is a common from the dark, Dust to Dust. I feel like I remember leaving a lot of these behind the last number of times I've looked through the dark, and we have a lot of dark. I still haven't circled back and checked to see if we have any more Withering Boons, but my concern there is those are only $7 a piece, and we still have like $42 to go. So I could just find Withering Boons, but first let's check for Dust to Dust. Torment Time Spiral. But that is a $12 card on the low. So that gets us started. And looks like we're at least sorted by color. Oh, okay. One Dust to Dust is here. Carnivorous Plant. Dust to Dust. There we go. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, 4 Dust to Dust. That's $20 right there. And we had, it's 30 with elves. Cave People. Hilarious. Cleansing. Cleansing is $6. No way. Get out of town. We're definitely at 500. Now I'm getting greedy. I can't believe that. Cleansing is $6, huh? Dark Heart of the Wood. Drowned. More Dust to Dust. I had a feeling that there was a lot of this card. That is wild. All right. How many Dust to Dust are going to be in this pile? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 Dust to Dust. Yeah, solid stuff. Okay, let's tally it up once and for all and take a look at the final numbers. Well, we did it. We did it. We did it. The challenge was successful, and it had some surprises along the way, but let's take a look at the cards that we pulled. So, starting us off, we're going to go in reverse order because it's just easier that way. So starting us off, we have Elves of Deep Shadow, $12 with 1. Cleansing, we had 5 of them, $6 a piece. Dust to Dust, $7 a piece for these, even at moderately play. And we have 25 of them in this stack. That's $175. Cerulean Wisp had 1 of those. I actually forgot to add this on the list. So let's get that. So it's in like light play condition, and those are selling for $6. Okay, cool. Made our target. So 6, 1, boom. So we have 1 Cerulean Wisp that was $6, and then yeah, going through the prices again. Diglett was 7, Nidoron was 5. These are all looking at like moderately play. These could be lightly played, but they're up probably moderately. Metapod First Edition was $7. The 2 Electabuzzes were $9 each for Shadowless. And then the Withering Boon, we had 3 of them at 7. We were able to find a Tombstone Stairwell in there. It's a $12 card. We have 1 copy. And then this is where things went kind of wild when I was able to dig into our Arconic Masters stuff. None of these were listed, and most of them were in the warehouse, not the library. But we had 2 Foil Dragon Tempest. Those are $10 a piece. We had 16 regular Dragon Tempests that were unlisted, and those are $5 a piece. 2 foil Mind Cranks, and then on top of that, in the warehouse, we had an additional 26 $10 Mind Cranks. Well, altogether here, as you can see, we had $681 found. And to keep in mind here, like how many different cards that was. That was a total of 14 different cards, 2 different foils, so kind of 12 different cards, technically. And for a total of 87 individual cards that we found for $681 in about 2 hours worth of work. Pretty good, pretty good. I think I could, I was thinking about doing a challenge where could I do $1,000 in an hour? And that would be really tough, especially if I do this too frequently. If I do these every week or something, there's like diminishing returns. I mean, I didn't really scrape the surface of Pokemon. We have Yu-Gi-Oh! Bulk, but you can see just from Magic, there's so much. If we work this inventory, it's got a lot of opportunity. So, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being a part of the challenge. $681, not too bad for 12 or 14 different product listings on TCG Player on our website. This will take me, 5 to 10 minutes to list these online and to generate some revenue. And after fees and stuff, that's, well over $500, $550 probably after shipping of cash flow generated for the biz. So thanks for hanging out. It's a good time. Let's head back to the house. All right, 4% battery life left, but I had to stop by the Fountain Valley store and it's packed. So we're just gonna do a walkthrough. Why not? Yeah,